So we have the Turkey Tom response video. Okay, Turkey Tom responding to the allegations made by, God, what were their names? Sacramento and L4D, Dead, Kiwi Farms users, Turkey Tom exes, who alleged that Tom was into age play. I think that's the main one everyone cares about, because the other ones were not particularly well evidenced. I have seen like the first couple minutes of this video, and it honestly, it looked promising. But then I've seen some pushback, so, you know, we're basically just gonna get right into it, I think. The age play one is the main one that people cared about. That was the big one. And then there were these actual serious allegations on the side of revenge porn and, well, not quite revenge porn, I guess, but non-consensual recording, threats of revenge porn or implied threats of revenge porn, breaking sexual boundaries, so like pushing too quickly with like aggressive stuff and consensual non-consent and shit like that. Yeah, is there anything else? I don't know. I feel like that's basically it. The just in case folder. I feel like that the just in case folder was already sort of discussed. That's already been and done, right? That was about Kai. And Kai said, yeah, he does have a bunch of texts and recordings or some shit, but he'll never release it because there's nothing to fight over. It was just a toxic relationship. And yeah, she didn't care. So, I mean, obviously, you know, like we said at the time, the way it's mentioned seems like it does seem like there's an implied threat there. The idea that he's bringing up this just in case folder to these women to say, hey, just so you know, I'll have everything on you. And hey, look, it looks like he does, but it's not a revenge porn threat. It's like, it's still kind of manipulative if it happened that way, but it's not a revenge porn threat, I don't think. Is there anything else? Are there any other allegations? Brutal sex, I said that one. Pushing too quickly with aggressive and CNC stuff. Recording without consent, we said. I mean, the bleeding stuff, that's kind of tied in with that, I think. Making shitty videos. I don't know if that's an allegation the girls made. Checking chat. Diaper. He's wearing makeup.
I'm sorry that this...
Okay. All right. Well, with that in mind, let's get into the video. Let's see what he's got to say for himself. Oh, one thing I'll say as well, actually. People are almost definitely lying about there being no coordination or talking behind the scenes. I'm sure many people can guess that anyway. I've got additional reason to believe that. That I'm not going to leak publicly, but I've got additional reason to believe that. And I'm pretty certain that that's why you saw over the last 2 days, Tommy C and Diorio start making statements about, oh, I've got no idea what's going on. I guess everything's over. He's not spoken to anyone. That's why you saw that over the last couple of days, because they were talking, and that's deliberate. So just to be totally clear, that's almost definitely what happened. But people are talking more behind the scenes than they're letting on. Okay, Tom has absolutely been talking to people. It's just total cap to say he hasn't. So they've just been straight up lying, and we'll probably get into a little bit of what they're doing in a bit. But let's see this first. Let's see Tom's video.
I'm sorry that this response took so long. I wanted to make sure I had all the facts together before saying anything. Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters, being so rough and inconsiderate during sexual encounters that it bordered on assault, encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations. The two women who are accusing me, Sacramento 89, real name Rowan, and L4D, Dead, real name...
So immediately... So her name was not public before, as far as I'm aware. So he just immediately goes in with the docs, with the first name docs. So a little bit crazy.
And Katie took to gossip forum Kiwi Farms to post the accusations, along with carefully cherry-picked screenshots to back up their claims. These claims aren't super difficult to debunk just because of the overwhelming amount of evidence I have on my side. So without further ado, let's start with Sacramento or Rowan. This is a girl I dated for about 7 months, from May of 2025 until January 10th of 2026. 4 days later, she made her first post. Here, she alleges that I am a real freak and like to, quote, record sexual encounters without asking for consent. This is blatantly untrue. I have never recorded any sexual encounter without explicit consent. As a matter of fact, with Rowan,
So she didn't really have any evidence of that being the case.
when she was the one who initiated the idea of filming sex acts in the first place. On Tuesday, August 19th, after 3 months of knowing each other and being
So he says there, she initiated the idea of recording sex acts. You should get those meta glasses when you crack me. For what? Cracking time. Cracking time. Yep. Good night, Tom. Good night, Rowan. Sweet dreams. You too, Tom. Don't let them
sexually active.
This seems like what's happened here.
texted me saying, you should get those meta glasses when you crack me. I responded by saying, for what? And she answers again, cracking time, alluding to me filming her with the glasses onboard camera. Now, at the time, I did not feed into this. I did not show enthusiasm. I didn't even agree to get the glasses. I just responded and said, good night, sweet dreams. So 1 whole week goes by without us talking about it whatsoever. And then on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, you should get those meta things for real.
She got those meta things for real. I think we avoid filming anything involving sex for a while, given recent events. I'm paranoid with recent events. Oh, anyone did it before. So we can't have any firsts with a ran through N-word. So what's been said here? So what's the timeline here? So Tom's claiming, so there's like, because there's like multiple things happening at the same time here, I think, right? Because when he says, I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for all given recent events, that's referencing this other situation with this girl who apparently got hacked. No, not Destiny. There was some other girl that he was speaking to who had explicit material, who apparently got her Instagram hacked or something, right? I think it's the creepy order, that girl. So is this sort of one conversation, or is this like at a different time?
Responded and said, good night, sweet dreams. So 1 whole week goes by without us talking about it whatsoever. And then on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, you should get those meta things for real. So I respond by saying, I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while, showing that I am clearly not the person interested in filming our sexual encounters. She is. As you can see in the text, even when I say I don't want to film us having sex, she pushes the issue.
Since what's recording glasses, hasn't changed anything. Okay.
Now, to be clear, we did eventually take videos of ourselves being intimate, but I was given explicit consent every single time. And on a few occasions, she even took the phone out of my hand and was holding it while filming us. To be clear, there was never a tripod or a hidden camera. It was always handheld, and in every single video, she was clearly aware of the camera, making eye contact with the camera lens. Also, on September 8th, Rowan texts me, I do miss it though, in regards to our sexual interactions.
Okay.
Also on September 8th, Rowan texts me, I do miss it though, in regards to our sexual interactions. She follows it up by saying, send the videos. Keep in mind, these are videos that she claims in present day were taken without her consent. She then goes on to say, and I quote, I will watch them and keep them close to my heart, clearly indicating she has no problem whatsoever with them existing. I'm an extremely paranoid person when it comes to my personal life and my sex life and my dating life. As a public figure, I just...
Okay, so, well, that's cap. That's cap, okay? You cannot say you're paranoid when you're fucking around with girls like this.
I'm going back to the start of the segment to see if you said okay so guys.
I did not say okay so guys. Thank you for the $4.99, Jimbley. Thank you, appreciate it. You cannot claim, oh, I'm so paranoid, I'm so careful, when you're fucking around with girls like this, okay? This is literally, I've seen some other text that's leaked where, I assume it's in this video somewhere, I saw it on Twitter, where basically her first message to him is like, on Instagram, is like, oh, you should make a video on this guy. He's got 3K followers on Twitter, but he's a menace. That's like her first message to him, I think, on Instagram. At least from what I can see. I assume it's in this video. I assume it's to Tom. I've seen it going around. If that's true, it's like, yeah, no shit. She's like crazy. Okay, yeah, she's crazy and she's gonna post her shit on Kiwi Farms. Okay, it's an internet woman. Like, she's claiming, it's one thing when she was claiming, oh, I'm not much of an internet person, I'm not much of an internet person. If she's reaching out to you as like a multi-million sub YouTuber and try to get you to make videos on people, it's probably not the type of person you should be sleeping with. Let's be totally serious here. If you're being like super careful about shit leaking online and you're like, oh, I'm so paranoid about my stuff, that's like an obvious one. That's an obvious one. That's like, yeah, she is exactly the type of person with the predilection to go on Twitter, go on YouTube, go on Kiwi Farms. That's like obvious. She's asking you to make videos on Twitter glop shittos. That's her opening to you. You can't claim to be paranoid if you're going for that. That's fucking crazy.
Just like to keep my private life private, so I was very hesitant to send Rowan any sexual videos we had taken. However, I did send her one single still image from one of the videos where my face is obscured. I guess there was some lingering thought in the back of my mind that if her accounts were not locked down super well, and if she had been hacked, then the videos could have been made public. Now, there's an implication she makes a few different times that I'm basically blackmailing her with these videos.
Somebody asked if you had any intention.
Yeah, literally. I mean, this is already pretty rough for Sacramento's narrative, really. That is pretty rough. So yeah, no, I think Noel's interview is used a lot in this. And you know, man, just a couple of screenshots I've seen. I hope this guy was asking questions, you know, when he was talking in the DMs. I hope he was saying, hey, there's not any more context to that message, is there? It's just like, because, it feels like some people went full steam ahead on this, I feel like most coverage I watched actually did say, like, you know, the serious allegations have, like, no basis. But there are a lot of people like KF, Twitter, that went full steam ahead on some of the extremities of this. And I feel like they're going to be very upset that, you know, the legs feel cut out from under them.
Intention of getting any sort of like law enforcement involved, but I feel like you answered this where you just want to try to compel him to delete whatever he has on you, and that's like the like the extent of your interest.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about what to do, but we'll see.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex, or threatening to send them anywhere. So she has no reason to believe that I would ever release them. The idea that I, a person who makes a living as a public figure, would publicly release...
I mean, this is true. This is kind of true. The idea that Tom would revenge porn them is already kind of like, why would he do that? Is it possible that he could threaten to? As like a, you know, he thinks they don't know better and he could fuck with them, fuck their head up, make them a bit scared. Maybe. There's a world where that could happen. But it's just such a, you know, it doesn't really make sense as a threat because it is so obvious that it's like setting yourself alight. It is just like setting yourself alight. It's just like total, you know, self-immolation for almost for very little benefit. For what? For what? To make this woman's life like slightly more miserable. You know, long term. I mean, obviously, it'd be very shocking short term, but you know, long term, I'm sure a victim of revenge porn get restitution. You know, I don't think it really affects employment prospects that much if you've been a victim, especially. It's like, you know, I'm sure it'd be very traumatic in the moment, but really, you're not destroying this woman's life. You're not like, you're not, you know, it isn't even mutually assured destruction. You know, it's like, I set myself on fire and just throw myself at you and hope for the best. But I have to like run 20 meters beforehand. That's like the sort of thing we're doing. Just total, yeah, it's just damaging yourself.
release videos of me fucking my ex-girlfriend to get back at her is so insane. Not only would that incur reputational harm beyond belief, but also serious legal consequences. The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan. Days after I broke up with her, she, without my consent, sent the only image she has of us having sex to the owner of Kiwi Farms. Here, listen to him describe it.
Oh, and one other thing, I forgot about this, but you actually, Sacramento had sent me a picture that was like censored. Apparently, the only picture that he would send you is one where his face isn't clearly visible in it. But you can,
Yes.
I can tell the desk, like his computer is moved onto the table, but I can still see like the monster is like on.
So, okay. It's a little bit, because it is censored, it's like hard to be like super outraged, but I get where he's coming from. I get where he's coming from.
The cozy that's like on the table, like in the exact same position. So I can tell that's clearly his desk.
I guess I just
The thing is, as well, is Tom doesn't know that it's censored 100%, and he doesn't know how well it's censored. But yeah, I think it's pretty bad. So like, it's sending it to null. It's just like, why? What's your fucking problem?
I find it ironic that someone who's accusing me of blackmailing her with her nudes literally sent a picture of us having sex to a man that she has never met. Now, Josh recounts seeing this
All the
image and
stylish shit
talks
is
about
double
how hard it
posted.
looks like I was
Crazy.
grabbing Rowan on the mouth, essentially using it as evidence to support another claim she makes that I am too rough during sex, which I find very interesting because after I sent Rowan this photo, she texted me saying, "I like when you cover my mouth like that." Again, she texts me asking me to send her the videos, and she says, "Yeah, whenever you're not locked in, send the videos. It will fix me for about a week. Goon sesh." This is clear evidence that she has no problem with these videos existing. To this day, she has provided zero proof that the videos were recorded non-consensually, or that I was blackmailing her with them, or that I had any intention of sending them to anyone. Reason
true,
being,
obviously.
I never did any of those things. In Rowan's interview, she claims that I never asked for consent to film these sex acts, and says that she wouldn't notice I was filming until 30 seconds to 1 minute into it.
I'm not sure of an exact date, but maybe like 2 or 3 months into our relationship, he he never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record, and I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone, but in them, it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera from the moment the video starts. She never once questions why I'm filming or what I'm doing, because the reality is that every single time we recorded, I had explicit permission.
And here's the thing is, she can contest this, and they can, you know, maybe try and mediate a way to like basically totally censor, except like her eyes, the video, and release it. Okay, if she's got an issue with that characterization, they actually can get to a point where they come to a conclusion that proves it either way. So if she doesn't contest it, I feel like, you know, Tom's on pretty strong ground there. I feel like Tom's on pretty strong ground. Or if she doesn't agree, you know, because there are ways 100% to prove that. And if Tom's saying he's got the proof, yeah, release the burqa edit. Yeah, for real. Grok, put her in a burqa. Grok, remove the cock and put her in a burqa.
Ask yourself, how could she possibly have never consented to filming when she's literally holding my phone next to her face as she sucks my dick? In the interview, she says that what really concerns her is that I wouldn't send her any of the sexual videos we took.
I had asked him multiple times if he could please send me the videos, so like he's not the only one who has videos of me naked, and he either ignored the question or was just like, no.
As I said earlier, I was paranoid to send these videos to anyone, even her, for fear of them leaking. Weirdly, in messages at the time, she seems
Stella's Samsung Galaxy A3 is playing up. It's going crazy. Literally, the Samsung Galaxy A3 is failing him.
to actually get it, saying, "I want to see them videos, goon time," before following up by saying that she actually understands why I'm scared to send them to her. Now we're going to fast forward to October 17th in our text, and Rowan says, "Do you ever go back and watch our videos?" And I reply, "Yes, I do sometimes, actually." Rowan responds that she's thinking about that right now, and then says, quote, "Need that big white cock." It's also kind of strange to me that at the time she referred to them as our videos, but in the present she's claiming she doesn't even want them to exist. On November 6th, Rowan asked
I mean,
me
yeah,
why I never
this
asked
is this all seems pretty rough. Dude, what is this? Pros and cons. Pros: sweet sometimes, dates are nice, tries to make it work, funny, pays for meals, makes you feel secure, muscles. Cons: chopped in the face and thinks we're matched in looks. Cheated on ex. Follows his friends around like a dog. Seems depressed all the time. No surprises. Takes hours to respond. So dry and vague. Rarely compliments me. Doesn't leave his house. Online all the time. No hobbies other than gym or video games. Talks about other women lustfully in front of me. I've heard Tom say in videos, I don't play video games anymore. That's for kids. I've heard him say that shit, unironically, literally with his full throat. Not quite like that, paraphrased, but he basically does say that. Talks about other women lustfully in front of me. Follows Instagram models. Oh, I've girls. Even ask him to stop. No romance. Doesn't seem to want to support me at all in the future. Seems like he still feels some type of way towards his ex. Every time I bring up a valid concern, he says, I'm nice to you, though stop complaining. Sent dick pics to a Belle Delphine type copycat before. Sex all about him. Ran through. Looks up to Sam Hyde unironically. Said he likes hurting me during sex, even when I bleed. Seems self-obsessed. Doesn't ever talk about us. Doesn't really seem to care about my goals at all. Everything's about him. I do the bare minimum, therefore you're not allowed to feel upset. Wait, 1 minute.
One shows her bringing up any of the videos being non-consensual. Another interesting fact is that during our breakup, she texted me a pros and cons list, which she apparently had written about me on January 4th of 2026. And in the cons section, she complains about a lot of things, but she doesn't mention non-consensual videos whatsoever.
Sure. That is true. I'm on his side on the non-consensual video allegations, I think, right now. However, I have seen small bits of this video already, so I'm just noticing things, okay? Yeah, okay. Said he likes hurting me during sex, even when I bleed. Con. Worth noting.
Me on January 4th of 2026. And in the con section, she complains about a lot of things, but she doesn't mention non-consensual videos whatsoever. With that out of the way, we can move on to Rowan's claim that I was sexually abusive towards her. In that same pros and cons list, Rowan wrote, says he likes hurting me during sex and making me bleed. This also reflects her public claims about me, but the great irony is that I never even said this. She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying, quote, I'm such
Okay, he's got a good explanation, I think.
a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something Wong.
Now, she did say that she, quote-unquote, sort of gave in and said she liked it after a while. When did he say this text was?
She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying,
September
quote,
14th, 2025. That's quite late into the relationship, no?
I'm such a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something Wong. In one of her public-facing posts about me, she posts an interaction which reads as follows. She says, quote, like, we don't need to do it 3 times in one day, or do it so hard I hurt and bleed. And I said, well, if you don't want to have as much sex, we don't gotta. We can do other things. And she says, okay, I like doing other things too. The way this screenshot is cropped, it comes across like I'm some, just super callous freak who's brutally jackhammering.
Well, it was a
her
7-month relationship, and she posted Kiwi Thumbs for 3 days after it ended or some shit, right? 4 days after it ended. So it would have been, what, around May or something? May, June?
like Steve mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response to me after that is, I'm a freak. I say this, and as soon as I see you, I'm going to be freaking me after that is Steve mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response to me after that is,
Did we get
I'm a
dates on
freak.
this too?
I say this, and as soon as I see you, I'm going to be freaky again. I can't resist. In the interview, she elaborates on this even more, specifically claiming that she would bleed almost every time we had sex.
Okay, and you would bleed the
Yes.
same? And you didn't stop?
Yeah, I would bleed almost every time.
This is just blatantly untrue as well, and it's easy to see by going through our text messages. On August 17th of 2025, the day after my birthday, Rowan and I were planning to go to Mass, and she wanted to have sex with me. So she texted me saying, Tom, I started my period. I was driving, so I couldn't say much, but I replied by saying, that sucks, I'm 40 minutes away. She follows up by asking me if I mind getting my sword bloody, and I say I'll be okay. So if it wasn't already clear, she's asking me if I'm okay with getting blood on my dick. Why would this be something she's even asking if every time we have sex, I'm making her bleed? Keep in mind, this is months into us going out
That's a
and
good
being
point.
sexually
That is a
active,
good point.
and she's still...
That is kind of a good point. If there's been a lot of instances which bleeding, it would be kind of assumed. It would likely be kind of assumed. Now, it could be, obviously it's not 100%, but it does point in his direction.
Worried that the idea of bleeding during sex would gross me out. Now, as soon as she began posting about me, people were naturally perplexed by her claim that she was bleeding from sex every single time. They asked if she had some kind of medical problem, and she says, I have no health issue that I know of, never bled during sex before. It was the aggression. Just gave into it after a while and told him I liked it, but I bled after almost every single time. I feel like most of this statement has already been dispelled, but even the smallest detail of no medical condition that I know of is also false. On September 24th of 2025, Rowan texted me saying that she's going to switch from her current birth control.
Has most of that statement been dispelled? Never bled during sex before, not dispelled. Have you dispelled that it was the aggression? I don't know. You haven't dispelled most of this at all. Okay, now he's sort of playing bullshit games. You have not dispelled most of this at all. Okay. So never bled during sex before. I don't think you've shown her bleeding during sex before. It was the aggression. How has it been shown that it wasn't aggression? Just gave into it after a while. All those texts are from like quite late into the relationship. So as much as they seem enthusiastic, it actually totally could be the case that she's given into it after a while. Told him I liked it, but I bled after almost every single time. Yeah, I guess bled almost. He's dispelled the idea that she bleeds almost every single time, because the idea that well, not even entirely dispelled, but certainly thrown significant doubt on it by showing that she's like checking that it's okay.
Almost every single time. I feel like most of this statement has already been dispelled, but even the smallest detail of no medical condition that I know of is also false. On September 24th of 2025, Rowan texted me saying that she's going to switch from her current birth control, Nexplanon, to the pill because she has month-long periods that cause her to bleed. So regardless of sex, Rowan admittedly bleeds for an entire month at a time. One of Rowan's main criticisms is that I'm too rough. In fact, she describes our sexual interactions as intense, violent aggression every single time.
I genuinely did think that he would maybe change and stop being so aggressive, because he told me before that he would like kind of chill out, but he never did chill out, and it kept being the same very intense, violent aggression every single time.
She also alleges that I hit, choked, and beat her without asking, essentially painting me as an abusive partner.
Unfortunately, I did still stay with him, and I know a lot of people seem to have a lot of questions about that, and honestly, you were completely correct to question my judgment as to why I stayed with him, even though he was, hitting and choking and beating me.
There's this idea she's trying to paint that in the relationship, I was constantly pushing this rough, violative sex onto her, and even though she didn't like it and was being abused, she stayed with me. I've seen some people question her saying things like, well, if you hated it, why didn't you just leave? But realistically, sometimes people do stay with abusive partners, and I don't want to invalidate their stories through my response. The real reason that she didn't leave is because she loved having sex with me, and throughout our entire relationship was constantly begging me to validate her fantasies. In this first screenshot here, she expresses that she is a real freak and says that she wants me to kidnap her, even saying, I want to be tied up, taken to the woods, and pounded, so maybe there's something wrong with me. I respond by saying that we should not have sex in the woods, and she says, you nervous? Here in this next one, Rowan says, I yearn to be manhandled and led across a dark room. That's why I like you. I reply saying, you are like a dungeon person, and she says, you are big like a caveman and I feel small next to you. In fact, anytime I wanted to have more loving, slow, I guess sensual intercourse with Rowan.
Look, I won't, if I don't just deal with my hunger when it strikes, I won't eat. Okay, look, I'm a fucking retard. Okay, just let me deal with it. Just let me deal with it. That was me turning my fucking heater down. Sorry.
in the bedroom, she actually had a problem with that. I remember one specific instance where, I was being more slow and sensual, and I remember her whispering in my ear saying, "I want you to pound me." And that's probably why on June 5th, 2025,
Thank you, Ralph
she
Lorraine.
texted
Thank
me
you.
saying, "I need to get face fucked for an hour." And I replied by saying, "Damn, exams suck." On June 7th, she texts me and says, "I'm excited to get fucked borderline domestic violently." At one point in the interview, she states that one time I was angry at my ex-girlfriend, and that the next time we had sex, I was particularly aggressive. This is a very strange thing to accuse me of, given that on October 13th,
Here's
Rowan
the thing,
says
right?
verbatim,
Here's the thing, okay, right? This is pretty bad for a story. However, there are ways where this could be. Like, I want to leave room. I want to leave room. There are totally ways where this could be like, oh yeah, okay, excited to get fucked borderline domestic violently. Like, sort of like a tongue in cheek, like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. Almost like, towards the end of a relationship, I could see maybe some form of this being sort of like I said, almost facetiously. But it doesn't seem like that's what's happening. It does not seem like that's what's happening.
Get fucked borderline domestic violently. At one point in the interview, she states that one time I was angry at my ex-girlfriend, and that the next time we had sex, I was particularly aggressive. This is a very strange thing to accuse me of, given that on October 13th, Rowan says verbatim, "Sometimes I want to fight you just so you be more angry when you fuck me." She clarifies saying,
then there's shit like this. This is like, this is not easily explained by, oh, I just said I liked it because I gave in after a while. That is not easily explained by that at all.
"Want to fight you just so you be more angry when you fuck me." She clarifies saying, "I do like that though, even without the fighting." So at every opportunity, this girl is publicly saying, "Oh my god, look at all this horrible shit he did to me." And then she's texting me that she wants me to kidnap her, tie her up, and pound her in the woods. And if anyone is putting up any resistance to that, it's me. She once again lies about weird little things in the internet.
Guys, wait, where is it? Has he ever been wrong? And I mean, I guess we don't care about doxers anymore, so, I mean, this guy should stop posting Nick Duro's address as far as I'm concerned.
Listen, I have done a 180 on the Turkey Tom drama situation. Still happening, by the way. These girls aren't happy enough still. They still have to dogpile. They still have to add on. These girls should be rebuked at its fullest by everybody online. These girls should be rebuked for their behavior. It's not good enough. It seems like based on the text, Tom gave you everything you guys wanted. Everything you asked for. Your whole thing online, your whole thing in your heart. He gave it to you. And it still wasn't good enough because he wasn't like a loyal simp or whatever. Like a loyal husband or whatever. Right. It's just never good enough. How they're acting, dogpiling on Tom, completely trying to like do the absolute most to this young man right now is sick. The take should be, fuck those girls, fuck everything about them, rebuke them to the edge of society. And we need to take a hard, long look at this. It's like, Tom, shouldn't have been doing it, obviously, right? He knows that now. He knew it in the moment. And it's a good, hard, long lesson.
This guy is just as dumb with egos. While kind of true, Salvo doesn't have a front where it's like, oh, he doesn't do a bunch of weird sex shit anymore anyway, Tom made this, no gooning fucking retarded bullshit. His whole fucking channel is, you know what I mean? I can't be able to explain the whole point. But you know what I mean. The guy's like this retarded, sex-negative, Puritan fucking loser on all of his streams and videos. He's just like a total fucking idiot. So of course he looks like a total retard when this shit comes out.
But the moral of the story is, we're going to like curse and try to dogpile Turkey Tom? No. The actions Turkey Tom did to those girls is so less to how those girls have responded simply because they got their heart broken. It's disgusting behavior. And I'm 100% on board to defend Turkey Tom because of it, because it's the objectively the right thing to do. And Tom, as a guy who's been there, and you chose to kind of go on the other end, you can hit my line. We can get through this together. Step in step.
So yeah, he decided to get Brandon Buckingham to do the doxing this time instead, Salvo. It's okay. You're benched for this one, sadly.
Hand in hand, confidence moving forward, rebuking the obvious. Those girls are nuts.
Interview, like she says that I was her second boyfriend.
He was I guess my second boyfriend.
And when I heard this, I was very confused because she told me that I was her third. In my opinion, she said this to make herself seem less sexually experienced than she really is, to make the case stronger that I was taking advantage of her. Now, in this next post, she writes, again, I'm not alleging anything illegal, just that he would hit and choke because he was a super gooner. Sort of normalize it in my head, but it's definitely not okay to do that. So for information on how I supposedly normalize this behavior, let's go back to the beginning of our relationship and see what our conversations about sex were like. On Wednesday, May 14th, after only hanging out with Rowan once, she texted me saying she's excited to hang out with me again, and she already knows my penis is massive, without me saying anything sexual to her at this point. So as you might suspect, we did have intercourse on our second date, and after this first sexual encounter, Rowan texts me saying, quote, rape thing is so hot. I never did that before. You should tie me up next time. My response to this is,
You did CNC on the second date. You did CNC on the second date. No. She's not. She's saying it was. This is very clearly indicating that it happened. Rape thing is so hot. I never did that before. You should tie me up next time. He. Consensual sex is good. You know what I mean by that. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, I get it. It's very clearly indicating that happened.
consensual sex is good. And she says, you know what I meant by that. I don't know what to call it. So from the very first interaction we have, she calls our sex rape for some reason, saying how hot it is, to which I clarify that it was consensual, and she says, I know what you mean. And for the record, I never indulged in her fantasy to be tied up, just not something I was interested in any way. And we also never did anything in the woods, in case you're curious about that. To hammer this point home, let's go over some more texts where Rowan talks about sex. On Friday, May 16th, she texts me asking when I'm free and says that she needs my, quote, big ah dick. And I say, don't say ah, and she says, it is, and I need it.
He's actively talking, so he won't be screenshotted. Yeah, I mean, that's just awesome. Yeah, you should do that.
Big ah dick. And I say, don't say ah, and she says, it is, and I need it. On May 18th, Rowan says she's not used to being with someone with as big of a dick as mine. She says that it hurt her, but she wants to do it again, and she won't be a pussy about it. Some of her public claims about me are more desperate and weird than others. Like she complains that I didn't eat her out.
Like, he never once ate me out, but he would demand that I would constantly suck his dick. And, like, yeah.
But here is a text message of me directly telling her, look, I'm a selfish lover. And she says, it's okay. I like sucking dick more than getting eaten out. I'm a real freak. Despite her acting like I am a sexual degenerate, repeatedly doing sex acts she doesn't enjoy, here she is saying, you match my freak kind of. Not you're too freaky or we've been too freaky. She says that I match her freak. Here in this next one, she says,
well, she said it's just kind of. You know, that let's be real. He is sort of over-egging. He's defending himself, so I kind of get it. But he is presenting a lot of things that are not quite definitive or conclusive or could be read multiple ways. And he is staking it as definitive repeatedly. And it's a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating as someone that's, you know, autistic.
Says, I'm getting on my knees as soon as I see you.
Wait, let me read those texts and go over those.
She says that I match her freak. Here in this next one,
I see. They turned the Wi-Fi off in my apartment during the summer. We're gonna have to get creative or detox. Sorry, everything's saying you made me sick. It's getting worse. You fool. I'm sorry. Promise to be quite dangerous. Don't make it okay. I feel bad. It's okay. As soon as you see beats, probably freak away. It's not so bad. I'll cough again.
When she says, I'm getting on my knees as soon as I see you, by the way, freak mode. In this next one, I give a little bit of input. I tell her I'm thinking about her pussy. And she responds to me saying, "You gonna tear it up or what?" Now, my question for you in the audience would be, do people who are into slow, romantic, candlelit sex describe intercourse as their pussy getting torn up? I would say probably not. Here in this next one, she says she's going to leave mass early on Sunday.
Wait a minute. If you assume that to have a positive connotation, then yeah, that's not explicit, for sure.
Go get some dick. And keep in mind, I don't want to reveal any of this information, okay? I don't want to be saying this. I don't want to be here right now. And I would never intend on sexually shaming an ex-partner. But she's gone out of her way to not only shame me, but also to lie in an effort to paint me as some gooner, freak, borderline rapist. So let's keep going. Here, Rowan makes a post saying that I am a Patrick Bateman gooner because I flexed in the mirror after we had sex. But the strange part about this is that I have a text of her saying, quote, "I keep thinking about how hot it was watching myself take your big dick in the mirror. Gooner as fuck, sorry." Reading through what she says about me publicly, it's like every accusation she makes towards me is actually some kind of confession to her own behavior. On June 25th, she texts me wondering if she can give me head after getting her wisdom teeth taken.
The image is AI generated of me and my friend into man. Her boy version mugged me. Do you think I'll be able to give head after getting my wisdom teeth out? No, not for a week or two, which is fine. But yeah, it will hurt in a serious way. You won't be able to open your mouth for all. No, I did as much as possible before. Where's the wisdom tooth? Dude, nah. Arrest this fucking Bulgarian right now. There's no way. Put this guy in fucking prison. Put this guy in a re-education camp. Chemical castration. You seeing what I'm saying? You seeing what I'm saying? When is the wisdom tooth meme happen? Straight to prison. Straight to prison. You just can't. You can't. You know. He's knotted. He's knotted. It's just a knot you can't remove. It's a knot you can't remove, and that's one of the worst forms too. Saying meme or doing a Pepe laugh and all this shit. That's pretty much as bad as it gets. That's pretty much as bad as it gets. So prison straight away, as far as I'm concerned.
Out, she obviously.
Wait.
On June 25th.
July 17th, I think. Plenty of time. Sophia's going to be staying with me still. I'm going to make her ass take care of me. She's really not that crazy. I think I overhyped the craziness.
She texts me wondering if she can give me head after getting her wisdom teeth taken out. She obviously wouldn't be able to do that because it causes your face to swell up like a blimp. And she responds with, "No, I got to do it as much as possible before." Here, Rowan's asking me, "Am I the tightest, most perfect girl you ever fucked?" On July 2nd, she says, "I miss that big dick so much. I'm under spells." On July 5th, I bring up us wearing condoms, and Rowan says, "Ew, no," and then tells me that she wants me to cream pie her and that she's a real freak. After I say happy birthday, sweetie, for her 21st, she says that all she wants for her birthday is my big white cock. In this next one, she texts me saying, "I miss feeling like I'm going to break in half, not gonna lie." In this next one, she says, "I like when you make me choke on it and call me a good girl." On July 23rd, she says, "Can I come over and suck on it Friday night?" Which I don't accept. I tell her that I'm busy. She then says, "I have the big white cock addiction." Interestingly enough, in this next one, she's asking me if I can have sex with her while holding her in the air, essentially, and tells me that I should try to do it. Once again, a pretty bizarre thing to ask someone to do who allegedly has been abusing you for 3 months by now.
Okay, this is a little gratuitous. This is a little gratuitous, but we get the point.
Really rough sex. On July 21st, she starts off by texting me, "I hate gooner men," and then not even 1 minute later, she says, "I need that big white cock." On August 23rd, she says, "Whenever I wake up without my morning Tom face fuck, I am sad." On September 2nd, she expresses that she wished she lived closer to me, but if she did, it would be an issue because she would want to come suck my dick all the time. On September 17th, she sends me an Instagram reel of someone praying the rosary.
Okay, we got it, man.
She follows up by saying, "I miss that dick so much." Here in this next photo, she sends me a picture of her in lingerie with the caption, "When it's rape time." And after she said that, all I did was respond with a photo of the movie Just Friends. On Thursday, September 25th at 7:30 a.m., Rowan says,
This is all just like avoiding being screenshotted every time, man. It's so funny.
Rape time. And after she said that, all I did was respond with a photo of the movie Just Friends. On Thursday, September 25th at 7:30 a.m., Rowan says, "I hope you come. I got something special for our rape times." I say change that to consensual sexual encounters, and she says, I know. She expands on this particular message and says, are you mad at me? I know it's consensual. So even as we're approaching over 4 months of being together, she's still telling me that our sex is consensual and that she likes it. Now
Well, yeah, but okay. Look, we're sort of playing games here because you are... Right, okay. There's a game being played there. Tom knows exactly what he's doing. Stop this fucking bullshit, dude. You're dodging being screenshotted every time. You literally, you know these messages could leak and they could get, you know, used a certain way. So every time it's like, Josh Friends meme. Oh, consensual rape time? You mean consensual encounters. And then not just that, but when she does it, you go cold. You go cold. And she's like, oh, is everything okay? Is everything okay? It's like, it's so fucking obvious, and he's playing such stupid games in this response video, dude. It is a slimy as fuck response. But she does, you know, it's hard to be that mad when the allegations seem to be mostly bullshit. Yeah, all the serious stuff seems to be, like, basically kind of bunk.
Consensual and that she likes it. Now that I've gone through a lot of our messages, I think it's pertinent that we get into the month of October. This is the month that Rowan has publicly claimed that there was one specific incident that occurred during which she asked me to stop having sex with her and I did not. To be perfectly clear, this never happened. But just to have some fun, we can go through our text day by day in this month to see which day this horrific incident could have possibly occurred. On October 2nd, she texted me saying, you are perfect. On October 3rd and 4th, we hung out. She asked me...
Okay, this is weak as well. Now, a bunch like crop text, just like showing a few texts from each day, does not really do much for this, dude.
I got home okay, and she says that I am her formal date in her heart. She then says that she hates when anyone comments on her body, even in a positive way, and I tell her that she should eat slop and go for a walk and not worry about it, and that she is beautiful. On October 8th, she continues being sexual, complimenting my arm. She then resends me a meme that says, me if I do not have violent sex very soon. On October 8th, she also says, I miss my handsome husband. Here, I tell...
Yeah, so I do think, you know, especially with stuff like this, the alternate explanation that she's offered that's like, oh, I just sort of gave in and said I liked it after a while, is like almost totally devastated. It's just like you are at every opportunity sending every fucking signal that is just like, not just you like having sex with him and he's rough, but you like the rough part, like very explicitly, repeatedly, again and again, in numerous different ways, different tones. You know, it's just, it's so expressed.
Very soon. On October 8th, she also says, I miss my handsome husband. Here, I tell her I landed in Texas. She says, I miss sucking on it. She then texts me saying, you got to start putting rape time in your reminders. On October 9th, she says that she wants to hang out. I say I arrived. On October 10th, she says, let me know when you get back safe. I always have such a fun time with you. On October 14th, she says she wishes she was waking up to me in the morning. And she then expresses sadness that I'm not moving closer to the city where she's from to live near her. She then states that her life has improved since meeting me because previously she was partying and going out, and now she spends time with me. On October 15th, she says, I started my period. I wish I could come suck on it. And that evening, she says, I would kill myself if I had to talk to any other man but you. I say, that's true. I'm a nice guy. And she says, yeah, I'm the bad guy. On October 17th, we've already read this, but this is once again where she says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I say, yeah, I do sometimes actually. And she responds to me that she's thinking about that right now and says, quote, need that big white cock. In the mirror, you dead ass look like the Hulk compared to me. Now, one thing to note here is that at no point does she express that the videos were taken without her consent. Once again, I just want to have that hammered down here. On October 19th, she texts me saying she needs my milk right now. She then says, I miss my perfect jacked boyfriend.
Yeah, you would absolutely expect there to be something referencing the non-consensual recording. Here's the thing, she doesn't even have texts to like a friend where she talks about him recording without consent at the time. I haven't even seen that, I don't think. So it's just, there's like nothing. There's like nothing. And that would be, assumedly, a pretty big thing.
and that night she sends me nudes. At 10 p.m., she sends me a photo of a guy with a clock in his hand and says, I need that dick. On October 21st, I sent her a bicep photo. She responds saying, you look good, Tom. I can't wait to suck your dick. She says, I love you. You're a great boyfriend. She then says, you never officially asked me to be your girlfriend, to which I say that we did. On October 23rd, there's proof we hung out that day. She then says, text me when you get home safe, and I say, I made it. She also texted me saying, I love when my bed smells like your musk. On October 24th, she says, good night. You're the best boyfriend ever. October 25th, she sends me a photo of herself in a deer outfit and says, meow, I miss Tom's big white dick. That night, she says, I'm going to send you ass pics tomorrow. On October 26th, we've read this one before, but here she says, next time during our epic rape time, you can tie me up. I say, you mean consensual sex, and she follows it up by saying, you know what I mean, Tom, rough sex. Once again, these are really weird messages to be sending to someone that you now claim is sexually abusing you on a weekly basis. Now that evening, the evening of October 26th, we can see that I hang out at Rowan's house and I sleep over. Then there's a text that shows that I'm leaving and mentioned that I took my friend to the hospital. On October 27th, she says that she hopes I'm doing well. She loves me so much. On October 30th, she says that we'll be married in 2 years.
Okay,
October
I'm not
31st,
going over all these screenshots. There's a lot there. I assume Tom's not going to show something that just like randomly outs a crime here. Like I'm sort of skim reading them. I don't think there's anything. Oh, sorry, I'm in a crazy situation. You're amazing, though. Ty, I love you. I'll send you aspects tomorrow. I'll get me sober for a while. Am I your future wife? Like there's wait.
On October 15th, she says, I started my period. I wish I could come suck on it. And that evening, she says, I would kill myself if I had to talk to any other man but you. I say, that's true. I'm a nice guy. And she says, yeah, I'm the bad guy. On October 17th, we've already read this, but this is once again where she says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I say, yeah, I do sometimes actually. And she responds to me that she's thinking about that right now and says, quote, need that big white cock. In the mirror, you dead ass look like the Hulk compared to me. Now, one thing to note here is that at no point does she express talk to any other. On October 15th, she says to live near her. She then not moving closer to the city where she's from to live near her. She then states that her life has improved since meeting.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the face swollen thing, but it seems like Tom's got no idea and she doesn't know either. So okay. Yeah, that all seems. Yeah. I don't think there's anything actually important in there. My instinct was right. I don't need to go through and read all those. I feel like I've wasted my time.
She says, you was madly in love with her and not me. I'm gonna myself. I tell her, good night, I'll see you tomorrow, and I then say, do not say anything like that ever again. Now, for a little more context on this specific message and what she's talking about here, during our entire relationship, she was extremely insecure about the fact that before I was with her, I had lived with a girl, and she wanted me to basically show more commitment in the relationship than I was willing to show, as far as like moving physically closer to her. And at a few points she suggested that we move in together, and I said, you know, it's just too soon. We're not really ready for that. I don't think that makes sense after dating for just a few months to move in together. So that's the context of this. She would constantly bring up shit and compare herself to my ex, or ex-sexual partners in general, but my ex-girlfriend, and I was like, don't say stuff like that. Like, I'm dating you right now. Stop worrying about this. So later on in the night, she texts me saying, mass is needed. I am such a sweet girl and have love in my heart for you. I know this. And this carries into the morning where she says, hi, my sweet love. The next day around noon, she says, sorry for being kind of bitchy. Let me know when you're on your way. I say that I have arrived. We take a photo in our Halloween outfits. And on November 2nd, I say that I made it home. And she says that she hopes that I have a good day. So we've now made it through the entire month of October. And there's no indication of any kind of abuse, any kind of mistreatment, or even really anything negative. But almost every single day, she says something about how she loves me, how I'm perfect, how everything is good, and she keeps sending me sexual stuff the entire time without me even asking. At the risk of belaboring the point, I do want to go through a few more messages just for the hell of it, just so I can confidently show that she was extremely sexual the entire time and never expressed any reservations about the sex we were having. On Wednesday, November 5th, out of nowhere, she texts me saying, I'm trying to make you nut. I just don't respond. On December 12th, she sends me nudes again. Kind of a weird thing to send to someone who apparently has sexual blackmail on you again, is it not? On December 24th, she says that I am a sweetie pie. She's grateful for me. She wants to make me nut again, in her words, and she hopes we're married for a long time. On January 2nd, she sends me a naked photo of herself again, unprompted. And the morning of January 8th, Rowan texts me saying that before she comes to visit me, she needs to know that my dick is working. Less than 36 hours later, I broke up with her. So as you can see, the texts don't lie. Rowan was blatantly the more sexual one in the relationship. I've produced evidence of
no, wait, why is he flashing Noel's face on
this
screen?
nearly every single week, and she didn't produce produce any because there isn't any. But apart from the idea that I filmed her without her consent, and apart from the idea that I was a sexually abusive partner, she actually made some other claims as well. Another and 36 hours later, I broke up with her. So as you can see, the texts don't lie. Rowan was blatantly the more sexual one in the relationship. I've produced evidence of this nearly every single week, and she didn't produce any because there isn't any. But apart from the idea that I filmed her without her consent, and apart from the idea that I was a sexually abusive partner, she actually made some other claims as well. So another claim she made is that
Why
I
did you stop the
encouraged her
text
eating
coverage?
disorder.
Yeah, he would. I told him very early on, like, hey, like, I've struggled with eating issues in the past, and I'm kind
Bag
of
rustling noise.
still trying to gain some weight. And
Dude, this is awesome. This is just awesome. Is this legit? Is Tom just throwing this on? Tom's just throwing Josh Green's face on the screen for this. Kind of awesome.
For eating disorder.
yeah, he would. I told him very early on, like, hey, like, I've struggled with eating issues in the past, and I'm kind of still trying to gain some weight and make sure everything's okay. And he would tell me, oh, I love how skinny you are. I like how small you are, you know, like, I love how your body is, like, skinny, and, like, just say all this stuff that was incredibly hard to hear.
This is also a pretty serious claim, and if true, would undoubtedly make me a pretty fucked up guy, but it's just not true. Here, I directly discourage her eating disorder, even giving her advice on gaining weight, and I say starving yourself is very bad for you. In this next screenshot, she says she used to be thick, but she self-nuked. I say you look the same more or less. I guess you lost some weight, but I think both are attractive. In this next one, she says that she feels skinny fat. I say I don't agree, and I say that working out is good. In this next one, she sends me an image that says nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, and I say that's a sickening image. Now, for those who don't know, this is like it's like a pro anorexia.
Yeah, it says an ED twit meme, right? Or ED Tumblr or whatever.
Slogan, I guess you would call it. Here in this next screenshot, she asked me if I'd still like her if she gained weight, and I say yes. Here in this next one, I tell her
The Section 8 internet is just not working for Styler today. It's like sending the DDoS packet.
screenshot, she asked me if I'd still like her if she gained weight, and I say yes. Here in this next one, I tell her explicitly she should eat more food and drink protein shakes to gain weight, and I also tell
Yep, seems reasonable. Yep.
her that gaining weight would be healthy for her, as well as saying, I just want you to be healthy. Here in this next one, I tell her that I find her sexy how she is, but that it could be healthy for her to gain 5 to 10 pounds. So this is now 7 instances of me actively discouraging her eating disorder, despite her lying and saying that I was egging it on. Now, one of the other allegations that Rowan has levied towards me is that I'm into age play. She's not alleging that I did it with her, she's alleging that I did it with another girl named Ellie, who I briefly talked to 2 years ago.
We're alleging that you do it with lots of women, Tom.
Not going to lie, I think the fact that Tom exclusively hooks up with freaks like this is still an indictment.
It is, given his public persona. Like, it's one thing if you want to, you know, fuck around with, you know, women that are likely to leak shit on you. I don't even want to say mentally ill because I don't know that the mental illness is necessarily relevant. It's just like women that are, you know, clearly too tapped in, too motivated, you know, whatever. Yeah, I think you can do that, but Tom presents as like, oh, stop gooning. And that's just not, it just doesn't line up.
Ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her about these allegations, and she clearly states that I've never done age play. An ex-girlfriend of mine text her about these allegations.
Okay.
And she clearly states that I've never done age play. An ex-girlfriend of mine named Kai, who I dated for 3 years, also publicly posted on Twitter saying that I never abused her and that we never did anything related to age play. So this brings the total counter up to 5 people: Rowan, Katie, Ellie, Kai, and another random girl I banged a year ago named Maddie, who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And
Okay, again, I don't believe that was her face public? He's just like, you know, man, there is some real slimy shit in this video. There is some very slimy shit in this video.
who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And all of these people say that I never was into this fetish with them. The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex. It's a little
she didn't even
embarrassing
accuse him of
given
anything.
that I am Me, I
Okay. It just stops there. It stops there. Do it. Oh man, it's tough. I don't know, man. I don't know. See, the thing is, the age play shit. I don't give a fuck if that. You know, it's not a moral condemnation. It's just like, you know, obviously everyone does have a big issue with it, and he would have an issue with it. He would have an issue with it. So he's saying all girls do it, doesn't respond to it, because this isn't Tom saying girls do it. It's Tom saying I like girls doing this. I get girls to do this. You know, it's not true that all girls do it. That's just not true at all. Oh, he faked it. Yeah, I'm not gonna make that joke.
2 years ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her about these allegations, and she clearly states that I've never done age play. An ex-girlfriend of mine named Kai, who I dated for 3 years, also publicly posted on Twitter saying that I never abused her and that we never did anything related to age play. So this brings the total counter up to 5 people: Rowan, Katie, Ellie, Kai, and another random girl I banged a year ago named Maddie, who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And all of these people say that I never was into this fetish with them. The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex. It's a little embarrassing given that I am.
Are they saying sometimes they do? I guess he is depersonalizing it.
I accept that it's something people are going to see as a little bit strange. All I can really do at this point is accept that it's something that I've done. And I think that Rowan should accept it about herself too, given that she also called me daddy during sex and over.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, this is just like lame as fuck. Yeah, he's like trying his best to come out totally unscathed, and I think that's not true. I think he does do some quite weird shit. It seems like there's CNC stuff going on. That seems pretty clear. There's now this daddy element. And he is trying to make it now seem as though, oh, you know, girls just call me this sometimes, you know. I get it may seem weird because I'm the stop gooning guy, but guys, that's all it is. It's just some girls. No. You seem to be doing CNC. You seem to be doing this. I don't want to say DDLG, because just the use of the term daddy isn't necessarily DDLG. I don't think, you know, it feels weird to categorize it as the full way. But there's something there. There's something going on there. You are doing some kind of freak shit. So stop trying to pretend. Let's stop the pretense. Let's drop the pretense.
Herself too, given that she also called me daddy during sex and over text repeatedly. In the same vein as this accusation, Rowan stated, "One more thing to add I thought was odd. Never really expressed any interest in Hello Kitty or that type of e-girl stuff, but I had like one Hello Kitty figure in my car. As a gift, Tom bought me Hello Kitty pajamas and a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff." So Rowan essentially wants you to believe that I'm pushing Hello Kitty onto her as if I have some kind of weird fascination with it. But the truth is that I am a 23-year-old man and I don't give a fuck about Hello Kitty, okay? The only reason I bought her anything Hello Kitty themed at all, which was once, by the way, was because she frequently expressed interest in it.
Now, it was a great time to remind you guys. 587 people here, 75 likes the stream. Some of those 510 people who could like the stream right now, but haven't, wouldn't mind please move the cursed thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing the thumbs up on the mobile device. That'd be huge appreciated. If you want to take your support one step further, you can donate directly through the stream elements link in the pin chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat, buy a super chat, which will highlight a message or read it on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF that we highlight in chat, then I'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you. Tommy's 23, that's rough, man. Yeah, and hasn't he been doing like Min and Finn since he was 19, and TRT since he was 20, and
Here she is sending me a photo with a Hello Kitty figurine next to her printer. Here she is sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall. Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her decorating my room, she says, "No Hello Kitty," with a frowny face, and I say, "Correct." And something interesting about these texts is that
fighting the Bulgarian genetics with everything you can, dude.
she shows that she has a poster of the movie Lolita on her wall. I wonder what the movie Lolita could possibly be about. This film is about a middle-aged professor who is sexually attracted to adolescent girls he calls nymphettes. He rents a room in the house of a young
Okay, let's just say it.
printer. Here she is.
This bitch is fucking crazy. Let's just say it. This bitch is fucking crazy.
Am I surprised that the basement dwellers in the chat think a woman saying daddy is out of the norm is not surprising to me?
Is it out of the norm? I honestly, I understand everyone wants to say it's like the majority. I honestly don't know if it's the majority. I honestly don't know if it's the majority that do show that. Definitely like 30%.
I'm gonna send you a dono but dislike the stream. Need to keep your ego in check.
20-30%. I don't think it's like the majority. Thank you for the $5, Shishadon. Thank you. It's quite common. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like, you know, super abnormal, but I don't think it's the norm. I don't think that's true.
Sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall. Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her decorating my room, she says, "No Hello Kitty," with a frowny face, and I say, "Correct." And something interesting about these texts is that she shows that she has a poster of the movie Lolita on her wall.
So this is definitely her room. Are we...
figurine next to her printer. Here she is sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall. Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her...
That almost looks like a different room. Can anyone try and reverse image search that? I almost wonder if this is just like something she's taken off the internet. If he is talking about redecorating and she's sending this, it could almost be like a joke. She says it's a friend's room. Yeah, I don't think this is actually her room. I think this is like, because it looks slightly different. The walls look different. See what I mean? These are more like white. There's like a yellow tinge to this, which could be lighting ultimately. But I get it looks different. It does look different. So I don't know that's actually her place. But I don't know that Tom's lying. I felt like he could just assume it's her place. But I think this might be like just an image being sent to
Lolita on her wall. I wonder what the movie Lolita could possibly be about. This film is about a middle-aged professor who is sexually attracted to adolescent girls he calls nymphettes. He rents a room in the house of a young widow to get closer to her 14-year-old daughter, Dolores Hayes Lowe, whom he calls Lolita. Obsessed with the girl, he eventually gains control over her after he takes her cross-country with him.
Yeah, so apparently she doesn't care if that's her friend Sophia's room. Sophia is also mentioned in the text. She's saying that Sophia's crazy or some shit.
15-year-old daughter, Dolores Hayes Lowe, whom he calls Lolita. Obsessed with the girl, he eventually gains control over her after he takes her cross-country with him. Rowan even says that I should watch this movie, to which I reply that I feel like it's a movie adult men aren't supposed to see. In this next screenshot...
Well, I mean, the movie, I haven't seen the movie or read the book, to be honest. But as far as I understand, yeah, the movie is actually like a bad adaptation and kind of does, you know, make it seem like not that bad. Whereas the book is more condemning, right? I think.
Rowan asks me, if I start dressing like a weird Hello Kitty e-girl, would you still fuck with me? And I replied, no, I don't want you to do that. I find it kind of repulsive. Here, Rowan is texting me upset that she has to take down all of the Hello Kitties from her dorm room. And this next
Lolita movie adaptation is like Ghostbusters 2016. Cool, man.
This one is probably the strangest reference to Hello Kitty out of all of them. Here, she's sending me a video that says, get you a man that takes you to the Hello Kitty hotel. And under it, she writes, imagine the rape here. And I say, I will not imagine. Now, with some of the more insane projections and lies out of the way, I'd like to get into some strange details that Rowan also decided to lie about for whatever reason she may have. One thing that a lot of people pointed out that's strange is that Rowan had taken a photo of us matching on Tinder before we met in person.
Yeah, I took a picture of the match because I could kind of tell there was like something weird about this guy. Like I didn't know if he was famous or whatever. And also, I did that to other people as well on Tinder.
Just like everybody you meshed with to like gossip with, like girlfriends.
Yeah, like a couple of them. But yeah, he seemed like kind of weird. So I took pictures of our match.
She's also stated repeatedly that she's not a very online person multiple times throughout her testimony. But the wild thing about this is Rowan had sent me a message on my YouTube connected Instagram all the way back on February 21st of 2024, 15 months before.
Yeah, so look, you have to do a video on this crazy guy on Twitter. He only has like 3K followers, but this man is a menace. And then you want to say to me, Tom, you live your life cautiously. You're paranoid about the intentions of women and leaking stuff online and stuff getting out publicly. But you went and hit a girl who was talking the way she was talking in DMs, talking crazy, all this shit. Every time you tried to make it less screenshotable, she keeps saying more shit. And the initial reach out was her saying, make a video on this club show for me. Make a video. You are capping like crazy. You are capping like crazy. You live your life like a degenerate. You live your life like your father. The apple does not fall far from the tree. Now you may be clear on the non-consensual video charges this time, Tom, but everything else.
Before matching me on Tinder, where she said, you have to do a video on this crazy guy on Twitter who only has like 3,000 followers, but this man is a menace. I even confronted her about this when we first hung out,
And you're
I found
Bulgarian.
it very strange that she lied to my face when she first met me and said she didn't know who I was. I said, hey, I looked at our messages on Instagram and saw you DM me over a year ago. Rowan said, oops, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you, but I watched one of your vids a while ago and thought you were cute, but I thought it would be awkward. I responded, that's okay, I was just surprised. She replied, I know I probably look crazy. I said, I mean a little bit, it's okay.
Kuihman's chopped in the face and he for real thinks we look smatch. Happy cat face emoji. Happy cat face emoji.
What do you do
Index
if a girl's
pointing at
saying
the
that
viewer
about
emoji.
you? What do you do if a girl's saying that about you to her friends? What do you do? That is like, that's crazy.
I just wish you told me, that's all. She answered, I didn't want to.
Oh, shit. She admits here she's chronically online. Oh, no.
Because I thought it would be weird. I'm sorry. Kind of lied about some stuff. I was like a niche internet micro celebrity on Twitter for a little bit too. I'm chronically online and didn't want to admit it, lol. I've gotten better about it. Once again, this is just another detail that it doesn't even make sense to publicly lie about, but it's just one of those things that makes me question her intentions throughout the entire relationship looking back. Publicly, she's also misrepresented the end of our relationship. In the interview, it stated that our breakup took place in December and that after that she realized how bad it was and she felt the need to contact Katie, who we're gonna get into later. This is blatantly untrue. We broke up on January 10th of this year, 2026, and she began posting about me on January 14th, literally days later. She says the breakup was kind of mutual, an idea that is just bitterly ironic because that's not the case. Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again.
I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys.
Okay, so this immediately, and this doesn't mean that it's invalid or anything. Immediately, it's like the classic turn on recording. Hey, I just like don't know what you want from me. I just like don't know, like I'm just like so calm right now, and you're like freaking out, and I'm really scared. It's like immediately the classic recording, But let's see what she says.
Our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls. We'll just break. We'll break up.
No, you won't.
Yeah, dude, remember the Onision like seizure panic attack video where he's filming that what's her name, fucking Shiloh? Oh my god. Classic, dude.
Because I'm gonna make it hard for you to.
Oh wait, no, it's not even the seizure one, is it? It's like another one after that where they're breaking up and she's going around the house and she's like, you, and she's like crying and shit. And he's like, yeah.
Be in a relationship.
Why?
Because you don't deserve one.
Rewind 3 seconds. Okay, yeah, let's run this story. Sorry, I got distracted.
Girls, we'll just break. We'll break up.
No, you won't. Because I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Why?
Because you don't deserve one.
Why?
Because you're a piece of shit.
Why?
Because our whole relationship, you act like everything is all about you the whole time.
Yeah, so that's really the kill shot. Ignore the spiraling shit, honestly, give or take. That's honestly pretty damning. She's saying she wants to go public. He's saying why. Is her answer because you're a rapist? No. Is her answer because you repeatedly broke my boundaries or anything like that? Because you film me without my consent? Because you film me without my consent? Because you're a pedophile? Because everything in our relationship was all about you. Yeah, that you're kind of fucking just raped here. Let's be totally serious. Let's be totally serious. That is, if that's what it comes down, if it's the first thing out your mouth. Now, she could immediately correct. She could say, it was all about you. You didn't listen when I said no. Let's hear.
Okay.
You don't give a fuck. You're just an awful guy, and I'm so sorry that your mom raised you.
Yeah,
She seemed like a nice lady, but clearly she...
Wow. Really groundbreaking stuff happening here. Congratulations, woman. Really awesome stuff. Really awesome stuff.
did something very wrong.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life. And we can be in our own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish, okay?
I just want to see you again, though. Like, do you think we'll ever be able to see each other?
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
This bitch might be retarded. She might actually be full-blown retarded. I think we should arrest Tom for having sex with handicapped women. I think Tom is pulling a JF and having sex with handicapped women. I think that's what's happening here. What do you mean, why? Are you fucking retarded? What did you just say?
Because you're, like, threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well, if you don't come see me, then I will.
I stated blatantly that I did not want to have sex with her. I didn't want to be with her anymore. I just wanted out of the relationship. This is something she was completely unwilling to accept, and that's why after I stopped talking to her, she proceeded to call me over 30 times and texted me 80 times with no response.
Okay. Well, I see the breakup texts. She obviously teased these a little bit. She said she's had some wild shit during the breakup, so let's have a look. So, if you don't want to talk or listen to me, just say you don't always say that. Don't waste my time. You need to apologize. Also, I need $900 back from my flight to Maine because it was a total waste of money. Apparently, goodbye, Tom. Good luck in press next BPD hall with your limp dick. I have screenshots of you talking about Ellie and how your dick pics were going to be put all over the internet. You're literally such a retard. Tell your friend from Dallas to hit me up. My question is, why string me along so long and say you loved me when you didn't? It became clear at some point to me that some point, I think, he does mean at some point. It became clear to me at some point that this would be the response I would get if I were to break up with you. I've been dreading that slowly, considering you just told me you were talking to other guys over the phone. You're just starting to post about it publicly. Realistically, I can't trust you anyway. Is that why you didn't want to break up with me? Because you were scared I would say some dumb shit that's so pussy, bro. I can see why you didn't want me to look you up because it's so bad. You're just as bad as people who make videos about like fucking a Belle Delphine impersonator and getting your dick leaked is crazy, then telling your girlfriend about it expecting sympathy. So yeah, you're as bad. Like, this is the core of the allegation then. This is the allegation. All the other shit that she said seems to be just made up, right? That seems to be the way it's going. That's basically the allegation. Because here she's given the opportunity. Total crash out. She can say whatever she wants. Totally burning this. It's over. And she says, how is Tom exactly the same as the people he makes videos on? You fuck this age play chick or this, whatever the fuck she is. You got your dick leaked and you told me about it expecting sympathy. Okay, well, there's no revenge porn there. There's no non-consensual videos. There's no, whatever. None of that's there. None of that's there.
Nah, everything is on Tom. He's exclusively going after and staying with the freakiest, most mentally ill girls available.
7 months for
believe
this
he
bitch is
wasn't into
crazy.
the age play and hardcore stuff when he only goes after these types.
7 months for this bitch is crazy, but 7 months for Tom is also kind of crazy. So, let's keep reading this. Also, I need my money back because you should have told me before the trip to break up with me. Bitch sit at home all day and do nothing. Have no hobbies except for gym and video games. Have a high body count, but you think you're this high value man. It's crazy. I know whichever girl's unfortunate enough to get into a relationship with you next will go through the same thing I did because you're like actually so emotionless and mean. Also, you're mad chopped in the face. I had to look past it. I'm done being a hater. So we had nothing about non-consensual nothing. Nothing about nothing. You ain't saying nothing about nothing. Like, this is crazy. Oh, man. Wait, you have a lawyer you can't record without consent. Wait. Oh, but then posting text screenshots isn't illegal, dumbass. Good luck trying to sue me for posting text, which is a public website. So stupid, Tom. I should have gone to the police right away. But I have evidence I told my roommate after, as well as my friend Sophia. What did she tell her friend Sophia? She didn't tell her friend Sophia shit aside from she had bruises from sex. You can't deny it because you can't deny it because this shit for real happened. You said word for word, I like hurting you. I still remember because of how fucked it felt. I'm getting a no contact order. It will go on your record. You're a fucking narcissist. I also got a lawyer. I hated having to tell my mom you're a genuinely horrible human being. I never loved you. So the idea of you, I'm going to the courthouse in Waco when I get there, order a temporary restraining order due to past threats you've made against me. Might go to a real court, which both have to appear. Yeah, see, this is the first mention of this, and it's after she's already trying to blackmail him into meeting up with her. And it's like coming so late in this crash out. It's literally, it totally seems like Hail Mary, last ditch. What can I say to get this guy to drive over here right now? That basically seems like what's happening here.
She is publicly claiming to be a victim of sexual abuse while begging me to fuck her again.
Like, you've done all this like weird shit. Like, I don't like it. Like, you're so weird. You treat me badly, especially during sex. And like over the phone, I just listed everything that he had done wrong, and he was like, well, you can leave me if
No one needs to an emergency. I'm sorry, Tom. Gym stream where he squats 2 plates. Okay.
you want. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you. That's basically what happened.
But there was no like specific did you guys talk at all between breaking up and then?
Tom and I?
Yeah.
I don't believe so, because I blocked him.
Even this detail is also so insane. While it is true that once she started to lose her mind, I did stop talking to her, she continued speaking at me, alternating between begging me to forgive her for breaking
Save the
up.
5 gifted twists. Thank you. Huge appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Up with her, saying she wanted to have sex with me again, and sending me psychotic text messages filled with lies that she came up with once I dumped her. Now, with Rowan dealt with, the next person I'd like to address is Clorox Katie. Katie's a girl I had a brief sexual relationship with 2 years ago, and she began posting about me on the same day as Rowan. Now, back when we were hanging out, she flew all the way from California to Maine to hang out with me twice. In the interview, she describes her time with me as the worst experience of her life.
And then you fly back, and how did that go? How long did you say?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
And she also took to the forum to make some posts about me. Yes, Tom is extremely harsh during sex. I've been down the kink roads in my life, and how he acts is actually just evil and almost sadistic. Not even kinked up.
So I don't
just
even know if
actually
this
a
woman had
Patrick
like
Bateman
did she even have like worthwhile allegations, or was she just like a total retard? Like,
type gooner. When asked how things between us ended, here is what she had to say. I just truly thought he was a cringe who definitely was going to beat me later if I stayed around. We only had a 2-month fling, but even my insane ass was scared of how he acted, and he was also just stupid. I hated conversation with him. He was just extremely weird to me and also evil as fuck during sex. Naturally, people asked her why she hadn't reported me to the police, and her response was, I thought about the police and looked into it, but again, it being across my own state lines and in Maine, it would have had to been filed there, and I lived on the opposite side of the country, so it just didn't seem feasible. These claims are once again so absurd to me that the best way to dispel them is to just look through our messages together. In these two DMs, you see that Katie comes to visit me for the first time on January 20th and leaves on January 23rd. She comes to visit me, she says she's excited, she then goes home.
She may be insane, she may be crazy, she might even be psychotic, but I bet it's bubblegum pink and grips like the strongest
Jesus
gorilla.
Christ. Thank you for the dono, Shishis on. That's gross though. Thank you. I need to reset my bar. One moment. Sorry guys. Let me just reset my grift bar, guys. And remember, guys, like the stream. First of all, that's free. That's awesome. We love stream likes. If you want to support the stream even further, though, Stream Moments link is in the pin chat message. You can donate directly. You can buy a membership to YouTube, gift a membership to YouTube, gift a whole bunch of memberships around me throughout the chat. Buy a super chat, which will highlight a message right on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or gift with a highlight chat. They'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay.
And after leaving my house the first time, she immediately texted me saying, I had so much fun, Tom. You can kidnap me whenever. I feel so alone in my bed. She then says that she has to come back. Now, days after coming the first time, she sends me nudes. Once again, this is kind of a weird thing to send to somebody that you're claiming is recording sex with you without your consent. Why would you send this person nudes? She then sends me nudes a second time, says she needs it, says so starved, so deprived, and she says that she misses me so much. I say, let's hang out in March. She says I'm down, but waiting until March will be so hard. On February 1st, Katie says that she misses me. On February 2nd, she slides up on my story and says she is counting down the days until she can see me again. She then says that she needs to see me ASAP, and she misses all the things about me. On February 4th, she says she wishes that she woke up cuddling me. On February 8th, she says she wants to have sex with me again. Once again, this is after the first time we hung out. February 18th, she says she's going to swallow me, and she then sends me naked photos of herself willingly. Keep in mind, once again...
So maybe a little gratuitous again, but I mean, we get the point.
She's accusing me of recording sex with her without her consent, and then she keeps sending me naked photos of herself. She even sent me a video, by the way. She says, I need you right meow. I need you ASAP. February 22nd and February 24th, we have I miss you and are you home yet? February 28th, she slides up on my story and says, I'm gonna suck you so good. She then says, I need to see you now more than ever. Lots of hugs and hot sex. On March 2nd, she says, I like you lots. And I reciprocate. She says she can't wait to see me again. She then says that she's excited to see me that coming Saturday. In the next screenshot, I say, your pussy's gonna be so sore. And Katie responds with, good thing we had to wait a while, because then I can take a beating. She then says, I'm ready for you to throw me around. Now, when we were discussing how many days she would want to stay, she says, as long as you want, and that we'll have so much sex and party so hard. And she then once again expresses how excited she is. On March 7th, she sends me a barrage of unsolicited sexual photos, including her with BDSM leather on her butt. On March 8th, she says all she can think about is me, and she can't wait for my dick to be down her throat. And on March 10th at 7 in the morning, which is 4 a.m. her time, she says that she is so excited to see me that she cannot sleep. Now, with the Instagram messages out of the way, we can move on to the text messages. So on March 10th, this is the second visit, right? Prior to getting there, she says that she is starving for me. Now, March 15th, this is when she leaves. She says, I still have her toothbrush, but that I have to let her come back. Now, keep in mind, Katie, in her own words, said that this second time visiting me was the worst experience of her entire life.
How long did you say?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
She basically describes being physically abused in the interview. She even says that while we were having sex, she would ask me to stop doing something, and I wouldn't. But that did not happen. You may also recall her stating that she ended things with me because I was such
Was that her? I thought Sacramento was the girl saying that he essentially raped.
insufferable person to be around. She claims that after the second trip, she began to realize she was a victim.
Yeah, and that's kind of like when things really started piecing together to me that I was like, wait, I think I am a victim right now. Like, something's not right here.
In her words, this is why she stopped talking to me. She says that she was scared of me. She says she was scared that I would beat her. Well, on March 20th, which is after the second visit, she texts me saying, Tom, I really like spending time with you, but I'm kind of worried about if you actually like me or just using me. Lol. I'm just BPDing, and so I'm tweaking and need reassurance. Are you just having fun with me, or do we have something? To which I respond, well, I like you and I think you're cool, and perhaps we even have something. However, I would make a bad boyfriend, so I don't really want to date anyone.
Okay. Now, Tom needs to just be honest. This is a big problem. This is a big problem. This is avoidant, pussy, slightly manipulative shit. It's not, oh, I'd make a bad boyfriend. It's, yeah, I'm just fucking you. Yes, we're just hanging out and I'm fucking you. It's such pussy shit, dude. So lame. So fucking lame.
Officially, I guess, yeah. I was abundantly clear with my intentions with her. I did not want anything serious at that time. But apparently, this is the period she began to realize the true extent of my abuse.
Yeah, but you're literally, he's like literally, I don't know if he realizes, it's so feminine. He is doing the woman thing. It's literally the woman thing. I'm not ready for a relationship at the moment. Some guy that she's got no fucking interest in. You know? It's like you're leaving that bit on the string. You're leaving, oh, I wouldn't be a good match for you. You're leaving that bit on the string, the little bit, so they keep going.
Which is probably why, after we had already hung out the second time, Katie tries to arrange a third meeting with me, saying she wishes that she was in Ohio, where I was at the time, and I did not reciprocate. After this proposition, she slid up on my Instagram story 12 times over the next 10 months, and I did not slide up on her story once, not a single time. So ask yourself, do these texts sound like a girl texting a guy that she finds evil and sadistic, a guy that she was even debating going to the police about? Because to me, it seems crystal clear that she enjoyed our time together and even wanted to hang out a third time. You gotta keep in mind here, she flew across the entire North American continent twice, from California to Maine to see me. After the second time, she wanted me to be her boyfriend. I didn't want to, and she then repeatedly made efforts to contact me and hang out with me again. Now, to close off the video, I think I'd like to share some interesting texts that Rowan sent me about her dear friend Katie, as they're both accusing me of, I mean, whatever it is they're even trying to say at this point. After she saw that I was following Katie on Instagram, she messaged me on December 8th saying, did you know Clorox Katie tried to fuck Jet Neptune? Those girls too make themselves easy targets with the hair and piercings because they have sexual trauma. She then says, they complain about sexual assault a lot because they will fuck anything that breathes. 1 month and 2 days later, I broke up with Rowan, and in the middle of her unhinged tirade about me, she told me that she would be messaging as many girls I had been with as possible to try and find whatever dirt she could so that she could run to the internet about it. Now, I've seen a lot of people say things to the effect of, you know, Tom's a hypocrite. He gooned.
True.
And you're right. I did goon. Okay. I did not stop gooning. So maybe in the end, the hats are more relevant than ever. Anyway,
dude, literally the complete wrong thing. That's who you are, retard. It's obviously who you are. You like fucking bitches that wear ego fucking outfits, that look like kids, and you like fucking them like you're raping them, okay? That's what you like doing. Just own that. Just own that. It's not stop gooning, it's just, well, why were you doing the stop gooning shit in the first place, you fucking retard? Dude, absolutely, literally the only interest I had in this, and he's just like totally retarded. Crazy. Wow. Well, how do we feel about that, guys? I think I was so fair there. I think no one can say I wasn't fair there.